Welcome back to the Culture Shock. Today we're going to talk about counting the costs out of Proverbs 1 verse 14. It says, "Come, throw in your lot with us, and we will share the loot." Okay, as I was looking it up in a commentary, it says that people will ask you to join along in their sin. Sinners will ask you to come and join them in their sin. And whatever happens, then you will be part of the benefits of whatever they are doing. But what I was thinking about when I heard this was there's a movie called Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. And in this plot line, the one that I'm talking about, it is when Anakin is being enticed by the Emperor or Senator Palpatine. And he is trying to get Anakin to turn to the dark side, which is the bad side. To turn away from the Jedis so he can use him for his own purpose. And the Emperor even says that pretty much that Anakin's going to be in charge. So Anakin does this. He turns on the Jedi, joins the Emperor or Senator Palpatine, and later on becomes Darth Vader. So when he turns to the dark side, he's thinking about saving his wife and their babies and having some power. So in a way, he was counting the cost for himself. But we always got to count the costs. So whether it's good or bad, we always got to count the costs. And I thought about that in life. A lot of times when I was young, friends would ask me to party. Whether it was in high school, whether I was working at Safeway, I would count the costs, and I did not want to join in on them. Because at 18, after high school, about a year or two later, I was asked to come along to a party, and I was bored at that time, and I joined in. In high school, I was into weightlifting, so I didn't want to join in because I was more into working out. In Safeway, I had to work the next day. I don't want to come in hungover. So I had to count the costs. Even though these people might be good people, they might party after work, but I might get addicted to it. So that might be a bad thing for me. Maybe they have their situation handled, but I'm not saying these people are bad. They are good-hearted people. A lot of them I met, they were good-hearted people that I worked with. But I had to count the cost for myself. So maybe you're in a similar situation. You're a good-hearted person. Maybe you don't like to party. But maybe you start to party and you become a different person. Maybe you have friends that are bad influences. Some people, nowadays what's popular is cheating on your spouse. Friends of yours might be single. They might ask you to tag along. Whether you're a man or woman, this can affect you. Maybe you have single friends that want you to party. Maybe you used to party with them back in the day, but now you're married and they call you like boring and your husband or wife controlling. So they try to break up your marriage. They say it's okay, you can come along on guy night or girl night, whatever, and you can cheat. But you got to count the costs. They're going to say you're going to have a good time. You can be like us. You can have fun just like us. Maybe that's not fun to you at that point in your life. But we got to count the costs. Anakin was counting the cost of the positives. He didn't look at the bad things of that he had to end his friendship with Obi-Wan, his mentor. Someone who was like a big brother or a father figure, some might say. But he had to end that, which their relationship was never restored. So, but we gotta always count the costs, good and bad. Look at, sometimes you gotta really think about your decisions before you do it. On things I do, the smallest things, I'll do small things. Getting a phone is a price cheaper for me. That's what I always look at, the price. And then I look at the next one, it would be coverage, and then how good is the phone company. I have to ask around. So I'm always counting the costs when I'm looking at things in life. Working out. I used to really be into weights, but probably in the past year I've gotten more into calisthenics because I'm getting older. And I heard some people, if you watch workouts in the park, there's a whole section on YouTube of people doing calisthenics. So I figured that's going to work for me. I'm getting older and I don't want to be in pain all the time. I just want to be fit. So we got to always count the costs at everything we do. Sometimes you could just do short workouts for if you're a married man, so it doesn't affect your relationship with your family. It doesn't affect family time. That way you can work out for 15 to 30 minutes and get back to hanging out with your family. You don't have to do bodybuilder workouts lasting 45 minutes to an hour long. You could just do it just to stay in shape, stay healthy. But we always got to count the costs. So watch out. I always say to people, watch out who you hang out with, because the costs can change you. Just like it did Anakin in the story I told. It changed him. He got vicious, and there was no good in him at that point. Of course, his wife said she could feel that there was so good in him, but no one else believed that. But it can change your personality on who you hang out with. Maybe you hang out with people who always judge others. Maybe you weren't like that before, but now you're judging everybody else. So maybe your relationship's good with your husband, then you make these friends, and now you're saying that your husband's controlling. Guys, maybe you're hanging out with your friends and you think all women cheat, so you start listening to your boys. So now you're thinking in your mind that your woman's controlling you. You're whipped. So you start to listen to them. Like, oh, I never go out anymore. But you gotta sometimes count the costs of maybe ditching your friends, making better friends. Friends that are married, friends that will have better insights of what marriage is. So we always got to count the costs. Maybe you're in school, high school, college. Maybe you want to watch who you hang out with, your friends. Especially in junior high and high school. Your friends can dictate what your personality is going to be. So we always got to count the costs. So keep on counting the costs at everything you do. Don't change for nobody but yourself. I hope this video helped. I'm the Frugal Cyborg. Everybody, keep on growing, keep on getting better.